just won't ever get cool.
Do you have to make candy today, Essie? It's such a hot day.
Oh, well, I have all these new orders. I went out last night and got a bunch of new orders.
My, if it keeps on, I suppose you'll be opening up a store soon.
That's what I was saying last night, but I said no. I'm going to be a dancer.
The only trouble with dancing is it takes so long. You've been studying such a long time.
Only 8 years? Why, after all, Mother, you've been writing plays 8 years.
You shouldn't count my first 2 years because I was learning to type.
I think the candies are running out now, Miss Essie. Oh, thanks, Reba. I'll bring some in. Finish getting after the sycamore.
Oh no, Reba. I've just got Cynthia entering the monastery.
Monastery? How did she get there? She was at the El Morocco, wasn't she?
Oh, but she gets tired of the El Morocco when there's this monastery, so she goes there.
Do they let you in?
Oh yes, I made it Visitor's Day, so of course anyone can come.
Oh,
So she arrives on Visitor's Day and she just stays.
all night?
Oh yes, she stays 6 years.
6 years? My, I bet she bust that monastery wide open.
6 years later.
Oh, Mr. DeBitto. Mr. DeBitto, will you grab me one of those new skyrockets for me? I want to show Mrs. Sycamore. Oh, hey, got some new firecrackers today. Listen. All right, Mr. DeBitto. Nice, huh?
Paul dear, were you ever in a monastery?
Not that I can remember. Wait till you see these new fireworks, Penny. Gold stars, then blue stars, then some bombs, and then a balloon. Mr. DeBitto thought of the balloon.
Well, that's lovely. Did you do all of that today?
Sure. Me and my boss went, here we are. Look, Penny, cost 18 cents to make, and we sell them for 50. How many do you figure we can make for the 4th, Mr. DeBitto?
Well, we got about 2 weeks. What day were you planning to take the stuff up to Mount Vernon?
I don't know, about a week. You know, we're going to need a larger booth this year. Got a lot of stuff now.
Look, Mr. Sycamore, the only thing that bothers me is I'm afraid the powder chamber is just a little bit too close to the balloon.
Well, you got bombs and stars in between.
But that don't give the balloon time enough. A balloon needs plenty of time.
Want to go down in the cellar and try it out?
All right?
That's the only way we'll really tell.
Oh, Mr. DePinna, if a girl you loved entered a monastery, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Sycamore. It's been so long.
Miss Alice, when you come upstairs tonight, Miss Sycamore.
I don't know, Reba. Maybe.
I'll set up a place for her. She's only going to go home one night this week. Let's see, 6, and Mr. DePinna, and if Mr. Kalinkov comes, that makes 8, don't you? Yes, better set for 8.
You know, I think I'll set this play away for a while, Reba. Go back to the war play.
I always liked that one, the water play.
Though they get a little harder, Mother. Let's try one. I want to know what you think. Well, they look awfully good. What do you call them, Essie?
I think I'll call them love dreams.
Oh, that's nice, dear. Oh, I'm going back to my war play, Essie.
Oh, are you, Mother?
Yes, well, I sort of got myself stuck in a monastery and I can't get out.
Oh, well, don't you? Remember how you got out of that brothel? Hello, boys. The snakes are hungry. Did Reba feed them?
I don't know. Reba, did you feed the snakes?
No, Donald's coming and he always brings size with him.
Well, we'll try to feed them before Grandpa gets home, because you know how fussy he is about it.
See, Mom.
I think I'll have another look.
Well, Mr. DeBitto was right about the balloon. Too close to the powder.
Want a laundry ball around the table?
No thanks, I gotta wash.
Well, I'm going back to the war play, Paul.
Oh, that's nice. We're gonna put some red stars after the blue stars, then come the bombs, and then the balloon. That ought to do it.
Mr. Kalenkov says I'm his most promising pupil. You know, with 40 months and one girl, something ought to happen.
Listen.
I like that egg. Is it yours?
could have a baby if you want us to. What about it, Essie? Do you want to have a baby?
Oh, I don't care. I'm willing to grandpa is.
Let's ask him.
Labor play, religious play, sex play. I know it's here somewhere.
I was right about the balloon. It was too close to the powder. Anything you want printed, Mr. DePina. How about some more calling cards?
No thanks. I've still got the first 1,000.
Well, call on somebody if you need them. Hey, Reba, what are we having for dinner tonight? I want to print up the menu.
Cornflakes, watermelon, some of those candies Miss Essie made, and some kind of meat, I forget.
I think I'll set up in both shelves around tonight. You know, I'm gonna take those candies around. I better print up some descriptive matter after dinner.
Oh, but do you think anybody reads that, Ed? What you put in those candy boxes? Here it is. Poison gas. That must be Donald. Just look at Reba's smile.
The boyfriend, eh?
Donald and Reba are awfully cute together.
Evening, everybody.
Hi, Donald. How have you been?
I'm pretty good, Mr. Ed. How you doing, Miss Sycamore?
Very well, thank you. Donald, do you ever run a monastery?
Nah, I don't go no place much. I'm on relief.
Yes, of course.
Give a laugh, Reba. I caught a big mess of the day.
You sure did!
I see you working, Sycamore.
Yes, indeed, Donald.
How's Grandpa?
Oh, just fine. He's over at the commencement this afternoon at Columbia.
My, you certainly do roll around.
Oh, Donald. Me and Mr. DePina are going to take the fireworks up to Mount Vernon next week. You want to give us a hand?
Yes, sir. Only can't take no pay for it. Government finds out we're working, they'll be sore.
Oh. Hey, Ed, I got this wonderful idea in the bathroom just now. I was reading Trotsky. It's yours, isn't it?
Yeah, I left it there.
Who was it?
You know, the Russian Revolution.
Oh.
Well, anyhow, it struck me. It was a great fireworks idea. Remember the last days of Pompeii?
Ah, yes. Palisades Park. Sorry, we met.
Well, I'm going to do the revolution. A full-hour display.
Say,
Oh, that's wonderful.
And the red fire is the red flags, huh?
Sure. Tsar and Cossacks.
and the repeal of prohibition?
Oh, no, Donald.
Well, sir, you should have been there. That's all I can say. You should have been there.
Was it a nice commencement, Grandpa?
Wonderful. They get better every year. You know how lucky you are, Snates.
Big class this year, Grandpa.
Oh, must have been 2 acres. Everybody graduated. And much funnier speeches than they had last year.
Donald, will you tell Reba that Grandpa's home now and that we won't wait for Miss Alice?
Oh, yes, sir. Reba, Grandpa's home. We can have dinner.
Got some big fireworks today, Grandpa. Wait till you see them. I wonder why they don't have fireworks at commencement.
Don't make enough noise. You take a good commencement order, and he'll drown out a whole carload of fireworks. Say just as much.
But don't the graduates ever say anything?
Oh, no. They just sit there in cap and nightgown, get their diplomas, and along about 40 years from now, they suddenly say, oh, where am I?
Hello, Grandpa. Have a nice day.
Hello, have a nice day. Don't I even get kissed?
Oh, excuse me, Grandpa.
Oh, I'll take a tomato too. You know, could I use a couple of these this afternoon? Say something, Ed.
There was a letter here for you today, Grandpa. Did you get it?
A letter for me. I don't know anybody.
It had your name on it.
That's funny. Where is it?
I don't know. Where's Grandpa's letter? Where's that letter that came from Grandpa this afternoon? Oh, no. I remember seeing the kittens on it.
Who's it from? Do you notice?
The United States government.
Really?
There's been a couple of them.
You know what they want? Well, if anyone come, I wish to give them.
Yes, Grandpa.
You know, I think I'll go down to Westchester tomorrow and do a little snake hunting.
God is the state is God.
What's that?
God is the state is God.
Who says that?
Trotsky.
Oh, well, that's all right. I thought you said it.
It's nice for printing, you know? Good and short. G-O-D space I-S space T-H-E.
And the beautiful princess came into the palace and kissed her father, and her mother, and her grandfather. Hi, Grandpa. And what do you think? They turned into the Sycamores. Surprised? Alice, I like it. The new. It looks nice and summery. Where'd you get it? Oh, I took a walk during lunch hour.
You've been taking a lot of walks lately. That's the second new dress this week.
I just like to brighten up the office once in a while. I'm known as the K. Francis of Kirby and Company. Well, what's new around here in the ways of plays, snakes, ballet dancing, or fireworks? Father, I bet you've been down in that cellar all day. I'm going back to my war play, Alice. And what else that means with the big rose?
Did you know you can mail a letter all the way from Nicaragua to the States?
Kenneth, my virginity is a priceless thing to me. Listen! I'm not here for dinner. A young gentleman is calling for me. Isn't that wonderful? I did everything I could to keep him from coming here, but he's calling for me. Why don't you go say dinner? No, I want him to take you in easy doses, so don't read him any plays, Mother, and don't let a snake bite him, Grandfather, because I like him, and I wouldn't dance for him, Essie, because we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet tonight.
Can't do anything. Who is he? President of the United States?
No, he's Vice President of Kirby and Company, Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr. The boss's son? Well, the boss's son, just like in the movies. That explains all the new dresses. Going to marry him, Alice? Yes, tonight. Meanwhile, I have to go upstairs and put on my wedding dress. Is he good looking? Yes, in a word. Oh dear, what time is it? I don't know. Does anybody know what time it is?
Mr. DePinto, my guy.
It's 5 o'clock. A couple hours ago.
Well, will you let me know the minute he comes, please? The minute he comes. What do you think of that? Thought it out. You think we have the wedding here? Fabulous.
Now, wait a minute, Penny. He's only called for the girl once.
But you only called for me once, Paul. And Ed came to dinner once. Just saying. I think it's wonderful. Must have been he that's been calling for her every night. Oh, and there he is. Never mind, Rima. I'll answer it. Now remember what Alice said. Be very nice to him.
All right, let's take a look.
Oh, hello. Welcome to our little home. I'm Alice's mother. Come right in. Now, this is grandfather, and this is Essie, Alice's sister, her husband, and Mr. Now give me your hat and make yourself right at home. I'm afraid you must be making a mistake. How's that? My card. Wilma C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department.
That's right. Does Mr. Martin Vanderhoff live here?
Yes, that's me.
The government wishes to talk to you about a little matter of income tax.
Income tax. Mother, is that Mr. Kirby?
Oh no, dear, it's an infernal something or other. We've written you several letters about this, Mr. Vanderhoff, with no response.
That's what those letters were.
I told you they were from the government.
These things are not going off, Mrs. Sigmore. Look.
Oh, not here, Mr. DePinto. I was busy. Oh,
It says here, Mr. Vanderhoff, that you have never paid income tax.
Well, that's right.
Why not?
I don't believe it.
You own a property, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you receive an income, don't you?
I do.
Of between $3,000 and $4,000.
About that.
You've been receiving it for years.
I have. 1901, if you want the exact
Yes,
date.
yes, well, the government only concerned with 1914 on that, when the income tax began.
Well,
It seems, Mr. Vanderhoff, that you owe the government back 22 years' worth of income tax.
Oh, wait a minute. You can't go back that far. That's outlawed.
What is your name?
What difference does it make?
What was your income last year?
$28.50, wasn't it, Essie?
Oh, please! Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, you do realize there is quite a penalty for not filing an income tax return.
Penalty?
look, Miss Henderson, suppose I pay you this money. Mind you, I don't say I'm going to do it. But just for the sake of argument, what's the government going to do with it?
What do you mean?
Well, what do I get for my money? If I walk into Macy's and I buy something, there it is, I see it. What's the government give me?
Well, the government gives you everything. Protects you.
What from?
Well, invasions, foreigners that might want to come here and take everything you've got.
I don't think they're going to do that.
If you didn't pay your income tax, they would. Listen, how do you think the government pays for all those battleships? The Army, the Navy.
The last time we used battleships was the Spanish-American War. And what did you get out of that? What? Cuba. And we gave that. Now, I wouldn't mind paying if it were for something sensible.
Look, I'm not here to argue with you. All I know is that you haven't paid your income tax, and you've got to pay it.
And they've got to show me.
No. We don't have to show you anything. I just told you. All those buildings down in Washington and interstate commerce, the Constitution.
The Constitution was paid for long ago, and interstate commerce. What is interstate commerce anyhow?
There are 48 states. See, and without interstate commerce, how could things go from one state to the other? See?
Why not? They got fences.
No, they haven't got fences. They've got laws. My God, I've never seen anything like this before.
Well, I might pay $75, but that's all it's worth.
You'll pay every cent, just like everybody else.
Essie, listen to this.
And let me tell you something. If you don't pay, you'll go to jail because there's a law. And if you think you're above the law, you've got another thing coming to you. You'll hear from the United States government. You hear from the United States government.
Look out for those snakes.
How did that sound to you, folks?
Oh, I liked it.
Goodness, she was mad, wasn't she?
Well, it wasn't her fault. It's just that the whole thing is so silly.
She forgot her hat.
Oh, what size is it?
7 1/8.
Oh, just right for me.
Who was that fellow anyhow?
This must be Mr. Kirby.
Very sure this time.
Oh, I will. I hope he's good looking. How do you do?
Good evening.
This is Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.?
Yes.
Well, come right in, Mr. Kirby. We've been expecting you. Now, I'm Alice's mother. This is Mr. Sycamore and her grandfather, her sister Essie, and Essie's husband Ed. Oh, now you know all of us. Welcome in. Come sit right here.
Thank you.
Mother, is that Mr. Kirby? Oh, yes, dear. He's lovely. I'll be right down. Why don't you sit down, Mr. Kirby?
Thank you very much. I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
Oh, no. Have tomato.
No, thank you.
How about Miss Candy?
No, thanks.
I forgot to introduce Mr. Pinna. This is Mr. Pinna, Mr. Kirby.
How do you do?
Wasn't I reading something about your father in the newspaper the other day? Didn't you get indicted or something?
Oh, hardly that. He testified before the Securities Commission.
Oh,
Yes, of course. I'm sure there's nothing crooked about it, Mr. DePinna. In fact, Alice often tells us what a lovely man your father is.
Well, I know one thing. Father couldn't get along without Alice. She knows more about the business than any of us.
You're awfully young, aren't you, Mr. Kirby? To be vice president of such a young place like that?
Well, you know what that means, Vice President. All I get is a desk with my name on it.
Is that all? Don't you get any salary?
A little, more than I'm worth, I'm afraid.
Now you're just being modest.
Sounds kind of dull to me, Wall Street. Do you like it?
Well, the hours are short, and I haven't been there very long.
Oh, just out of college, huh?
Well, I knocked around for a while. At first, just sort of had fun. Went to England for a year.
Oh, say, what's an English commencement like? Did you see any?
Oh, very
They
impressive.
are, huh?
Well, anyhow, now the fun's over.
So I suppose you're ready to settle down and get married? You mustn't rush him, Mother. All I meant is he's bound to get married, and suppose the wrong girl gets him. Well, here I am, a vision in dream. I see you've had time to get acquainted. Yes, we were just having a lovely talk about love and marriage. I'm sorry, I came down as fast as I could.
do you do?
How do you do?
And now I think we better go. Excuse us, Mr. Kolenkoff, we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet.
Hey, the Monte Carlo Ballet. It stinks.
Yes. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye, I'm so glad to have met you all.
The Monte Carlo Ballet.
Isn't Mr. Curry lovely? Well, come on, everyone. It's time for dinner.
I thought he was a great fellow. How are you?
And so good looking. Such nice manners.
God knows that a cousin of mine.
Then you have the ballet.
I think if we have the wedding here, I'll put the altar right where the snakes are.
Quiet, everybody quiet. Well, sir, we want to thank you for everything you've done for us, and we're certainly much obliged. Remember, all we ask is just to go along and be happy in our own sort of way. Of course, we want to keep our health, but as far as anything else is concerned, we'll leave it to you. Thank you. So, the second 5-year plan was a failure, and to end off...
Catastrophic.
I can see them dance every night of the week. I think they're marvelous.
They are, aren't they? And then again, just walking inside any theater gives me a thrill.
Tony, it's been so lovely. I hate to have it over.
Is it over? Do I have to go right away?
You don't want to?
I don't.
Well, I'm gonna go check the ice box. Want to call on?
I'd follow you to the ends of the earth, Alice.
Just the kitchen is far enough. Well, just ginger ale. That gives you a rough idea of the sycamores.
Of course. Why they make these bottle openers for singer midgets, I was never able to understand. Well, I'd like to make a toast, Miss Sycamore. To you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby. To you.
You know, I wouldn't trade 1 minute of this evening for all the rice in China.
Is there much rice in China?
Oh, terrific. Didn't you read The Good Earth? Well, I suppose I'd ought to be going now.
But I don't want you to.
All right, I won't. So, when do you take your vacation?
The last 2 weeks in August.
Oh, I might take mine then, too.
Really?
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I haven't thought much about it.
Oh, are you going to go away?
I might not. I like the city in the summertime.
I do, too.
Oh, but you always go up to Maine, don't you?
Well, yes, but I'm sure I'd like the city in the summertime. That is, if you were here.
Well, I'd like it if you were here, Tony.
You know what you're saying, don't you?
What?
Well, you'd rather spend the summer with me than anybody else?
Well, it looks that way, doesn't it?
Well, if you feel that way about the summer, how would you feel about, I don't know, the winter?
Yes, I'd like that too.
And then comes spring and autumn. If you could see your way clear about those, Miss Sycamore.
Yes.
Well then.
Alice, dear, is that you? What time is it? Oh, Mr. Kirby, I had no idea. That is, I didn't mean to interrupt anything.
Oh, not at all, Miss Sycamore.
No, Mother.
Well, I just came down for a manuscript, and you can go right ahead. Oh, well, here it is. Sextink's a holiday. Well, have a nice evening, Mr. Kirby.
Good night, Miss Sycamore.
Oh, I think you can call me Penny now, don't you? At least I hope so.
Don't worry about that, Tony. That's just the father.
This time of night?
Any time of night, any time of day.
You know, you're more beautiful, more lovely, more adorable than anyone else in the whole world.
Don't, Tony, I can't.
Alice, all mothers are like that. And Penny's a darling. Well, I'm even calling her Penny.
Oh, no, I don't mean that, Tony. Look, this is something that I should have said a long time ago, but I didn't have the courage. I let myself be swept away because I loved you so.
Alice.
socially that's too silly, but your family and mine, it just wouldn't work, Tony. It wouldn't work.
All right, out of your way. She can't dance. That's why they pay her all that money, because she can't dance.
I'm just saying, I don't call that dancing what she does. Oh, hello. Ed and I just saw Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Do you think she can dance, Mr. Kirby?
Yes, I always thought so.
What does she do anyhow? Now look, you're Fred Astaire and I'm Ginger Rogers.
Please, Essie.
I just want to use him for a minute.
Me? You're just as good as Ginger Rogers. We all think so. See, Ed?
Essie, have you asked Grandpa yet about us having a baby?
Oh, he said go right ahead.
See? That's what it would be like always.
I didn't mind that. Besides, we're not going to live with our families. It's just going to be you and I.
No, it isn't, Tony. It's never quite that. I love my family, Tony. I love them deeply. Other people could cut away, but I couldn't. I know they do strange things. I never know what to expect next, but they're fun and happy, and I don't know, there's a sort of nobility about them. And I know that sounds silly, but the way they just don't care about things that other people give their whole lives to, they're really wonderful.
Alice, you talk as though only you could understand. Now that's not simply true. My father, he raises orchids at $10,000 a bulb. My mother believes in spiritualism. Now that's just as bad as your mother writing plays, isn't it?
No, it goes deeper than that, Tony. Your mother believes in spiritualism because it's fashionable, and your father raises orchids because he can afford to. My mother writes plays because 8 years ago a typewriter was delivered here by mistake.
Every family has various little traits. I don't understand.
Well, no, and look at Grandpa. 35 years ago, he just quit his job. He went up to his office in the elevator and came right back down again. He could have been a rich man, but he said it took too much time. So for 35 years, he's just collected stakes and gone to circuses and commencements. It never occurs to any of them that...
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know you folks was in here.
It's all right, Donald.
No, Reba fancies some kind of candy. Oh, there it is. Y'all folks don't want any, do you?
No, Donald.
Y'all have a nice evening?
Yes, Donald.
Ballet nice?
Yes, Donald.
Nice dinner?
Yes, Donald.
That's nice.
Now, do you see what I mean? Could you explain Donald to your father? Could you explain Grandpa? No, you couldn't.
Alice, everybody has a family.
Yeah, but not like mine.
Now that doesn't stop people who love each other. Trust me, on loving me. Please, just forget about everything else. Now, I'd like to see a little gaiety around here. Young man calling, getting engaged and everything.
What do I say?
Well, first you thank the young man for getting engaged to you.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby, for getting engaged to me.
And then you tell it what it was about him that first took your girlish hearts.
The back of your head.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't your money or your charm. It was the back of your head. I just happened to like it.
What happened when I turned around?
Well, I got used to it after a while.
Oh, I see. Well, Alice, think of it, we're pretty lucky, aren't we?
I know I am the luckiest girl in the world.
I'm not exactly unlucky myself. Well, good night, my dear. Until tomorrow.
Good night.
Isn't it wonderful we work in the same office? I can dictate to you all day. Dear Miss Sycamore, I love you, I love you, I love you.
You're such a fool.
Why don't you meet me in the drugstore tomorrow morning? Before you head up to the office, I'll have millions of things to say to you by then.
All right.
And then lunch, and then dinner tomorrow evening.
What will people say?
Oh, well, it's got to come out sometime. In fact, if you know a good house stop, I'd like to do a little shouting.
Yes, sir, Mr. DePena. We did a 5 days' work.
That's what. 500 black panthers, 300 willow trees, and 8 dozen junior kitty butlers.
I'll have a nice evening, Alice.
I had a beautiful
Mr. DePino, will you grab the lights? I want Alice to get the full effect.
What, Father?
Take a look at this new red file. It's beautiful.
It is. Everything's beautiful. It's the most beautiful red fire in the world. I'm ready to read the play now, Miss Wellington, if you are.
Just a minute, dearie, just a minute.
The only thing is, and I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, but you don't drink while you act, do you, Miss Wellington?
I'm glad you mentioned it. As soon as the play opens, I never touch a drop. This bottle gets put away until it turns.
Have you been on the stage a long time, Miss Wellington?
All my life. Have you ever seen Pego My Heart?
Oh, yes, indeed.
I've seen it too! Great play, isn't it? Nice, hot tonight. Want to open a window, Miss Wellington? I don't know the weather. Say, he's cute.
Oh, Reba, she's just acting. Don't mean anything.
Well, anytime you're ready, Miss Wellington, we can go up to my room and start. I thought we'd read the play up in my room.
Just a minute, dearie. Just a minute. I start seeing snakes. It's time to lay down.
Oh, real Miss Wellington. Miss Wellington? Miss Wellington!
She's out like a light.
Better let her sleep it off.
Reba, Miss Wellington just passed out.
Yes, but I wouldn't cast her in the religious play.
Wonder if I shouldn't cover her up.
Next time you meet an actress on top of a bus, Penny, I think I'd send her the play instead of bringing her home to read it.
And stop printing and take those candies around that I made this afternoon, won't you? They're out in the kitchen.
After I finish these circulars.
Oh, but do that later. You have to be back in time to play for me when Mr. Kalinkov comes.
Kalinkov coming tonight.
Well, tomorrow night's his night, but I have to change around how to pass.
Oh, big doings around here tomorrow night, huh?
I'm so nervous you'd think it was me he was engaged to instead of Alice.
Oh, I wonder what they'll be like, his mother and father. And what are you doing now?
Hey, Peggy, look at this mask I made last night. Guess who it is?
Oh, no, don't tell me. Wait a minute. Cleopatra.
That's Mrs. Roosevelt!
You know the great thing is about these erector sets? You can make almost anything out of them. Last week it was the Empire State Building.
What is it this week?
The Queen Mary.
She hasn't got the right hat on.
Mr. DePino, can you look outside and see if there's somebody standing out there?
Why? What for?
The last 2 days when I've been out delivering candy, there's been somebody following me.
And you're crazy.
No, I'm not. They stand here and they watch the house. Really? I'll take a look and see.
I don't see what anybody would follow you for, Ed.
Well, there have been a lot of kidnappings going on, Grandpa.
Yes, but not of Ed.
Did you see them? There's nobody out there at all. Are you sure? Positive. I just saw him walk away. You see, I told you.
It could have been any person just wandering along the street.
You want to go down and finish packing up some fireworks?
Yeah, we've got to take the fireworks up Mount Vernon in the morning.
Mother, may I borrow... Mother, may I borrow some paper? I'm making out a list for Reba for tomorrow. Yes, dear. Here's some.
Why, what happened to your actress friend? Is she giving a performance?
Oh, no, she's not acting, Alice. She's really drunk.
Essie, you're going to give Reba the kitchen all day tomorrow, right? Because she's going to need it.
Yes, Alice. We'll start some love drinks now, so I'm way ahead.
Thank you. Now, Mother, I'm going to be home at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Will you have everything down in the cellar by that time? The typewriter and the snakes and the xylophone and the printing press.
And Miss Wellington.
And Miss Wellington. And that should give me enough time to arrange the table and fix the flowers.
The Kirbys are certainly going to get the wrong impression of this house.
You'll do all that, won't you, Mother? Of course, dear. And I think we better have cocktails ready by 7:15 in case the Kirbys happen to come a little early. And I wonder if I ought to let Reba cook dinner. Oh, what do you think, Grandpa?
Now, Alice, I wouldn't worry so much. From what I've seen of the boy, I'm sure the Kirbys are very nice people. And if everything isn't so elaborate tomorrow night, it's all right too.
I'm not trying to impress them or pretend we're anything that we aren't. I just want everything to go off well.
No reason why it shouldn't.
We're all going to do everything we can to make it a nice party.
I didn't know it was possible to be so happy. He's so wonderful, Grandpa. Why, just looking at him, you don't know what it does to me.
Just looking at him. Well, just looking at him at lunch, and dinner, and until 4 o'clock in the morning, and at 9 o'clock in the morning, we're back at the office, and there he is. You just look at him, don't you?
I don't care. I'm in love. Reba, Reba!
Nice, isn't it? Nice to see her so happy.
I remember when I was engaged to Paul, how happy we were. You know, I still feel that way.
I know. Nice the way Ed and Essie get along too, isn't it?
When Donald and Reba, even though they're not married, do you suppose Mr. DePinna will ever marry anyone, Grandpa?
Well, there's always Miss Wellington.
Dear, I wish she'd wake up. If we're going to read that play tonight, then she's got to wake up soon.
Miss Sigmore, look what I found. You remember?
Oh, of course! It's my painting of you as the discus thrower.
I remember. Say, you've gone a little gray, haven't you, Mr. DePinna?
Is it very noticeable?
Well, it was a long time ago, but that was just before I stopped painting, which was 8 years ago.
It's too bad you never finished it, Miss Sycamore.
I always meant to finish it, Mr. DePinna, but I just started to write a play one day, and that was it. I never painted again.
Just as well, too. I was going to have to strip next.
Who would have thought that day I came to deliver the ice that I would stay for 8 years?
Well, the milkman was here before you for 5 years.
Why did he leave anyhow? I forget.
He didn't leave. He died.
He was such a nice man, too. Do you remember the funeral, Grandpa? Never knew his name, so it was kind of hard to get the certificate.
What was the name we finally made up for him?
Martin Vanderhoff. We gave him your name.
Oh, yes, I remember.
It was such a lovely idea, too, because otherwise he never would have gotten all those flowers.
It certainly was. And it didn't hurt me any. Not bothered by any mail anymore, and haven't had a telephone call from that day to this.
It really was a very wonderful idea.
I really wish we'd finish this sometime, Miss Sycamore. I'd kind of like to have it.
You know what, Mr. DePinna? Maybe I'll do some work on it tonight.
Say, will you?
I don't think she's going to wake up anytime soon. Look, Mr. DePinna, you go down to the cellar and get into your costume and bring up the easel. What did I do with my palette and brushes?
Hooray, Pisca, my little Ray Pisca! Grandpa, what do you think? I keep telling Ray Pisca she could be great toe dancer, but she laughs only.
No, sir. I couldn't get them on my toes. I have cords.
Ray Pisca, you could wear diamonds.
What is that?
It's a painting of Mr. DePinna. Penny painted it.
It stinks.
I know. How do you like that?
What is that?
She's an actress, friend of Penny's.
She is drunk, no?
She is drunk. Yes. How are you, Kalenko?
Magnificent! Life chasing around inside of me like a squirrel.
Tis, huh? What's new in Russia? Any more letters from your friend in Moscow?
I have just heard from him. I saved for you the stamp.
Thanks, Kalenko.
They sent him to Siberia.
That's so. How's he like it?
He has escaped and gone back to Moscow. You will get them yet, unless they get him first. Ah, Grandpa, what they have done to Russia, I could take the whole Soviet government and...
Sorry, Mr. Kalenko. I'll take to the Mexican right away.
Tonight you will really work, my Pavlov. Tonight we make something new.
Is he making any progress, Klenkov?
Confidentially, she stinks!
Well, as long as she's enjoying herself.
You sure do take a read, Mr. Klenkov.
Oh yes, Don, tell me, what do you think of the Soviet government?
What, Mr. Klenkov?
And a broad question. What do you think of the American government?
Oh, it's fine. I'm on relief, you know.
Oh yes, and you like it?
Well, sure. Only you gotta go around the place every once in a while and collect it. Sometimes you stand in line pretty near half an hour. Government ought to be run better than that. Don't you think, Grandpa?
The government ought to stop sending me these letters. Says I have to be down at the United States Marshal's office Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock.
Ah, income tax. They've got you, Grandpa.
I'm supposed to pay him a lot of money so as to keep Donald on relief.
Really, Grandpa? You're gonna pay it now?
That's what they want.
Me and I can come around here and get it instead of going down to the place and waiting in line?
No, Donald. You will have to waste a full half hour of your week every week.
Why like it? Breaks up my week.
He should have been in Russia when the revolution came, and then he would have stood in line, a bread line. Ah, Grandpa, what they have done to Russia. My dear friend, the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina. Her cousin was the Tsar of Russia. Now she is now she's waitress in Charles restaurant. A crazy world, Grandpa.
It's not the world that's crazy, Klenkov. It's the people in it. Life is simple if you just relax.
How can you relax in times like these?
Well, if they relaxed, there wouldn't be times like these, and that's just my point. Life is simple if you just let it come to you, and it's kind of beautiful in a way. Trouble is, people forget that. I know I did. I used to be in the thick of it, fighting and clawing and scratching, regular trouble. One day it just kind of struck me. Oh, I wasn't having any fun.
So you did what?
Just relaxed. 35 years ago that was. And I've been a happy man ever since.
Good evening, Mr. Klenkov.
Ah, Miss Alice! I have not seen you to present my congratulations. May you be very happy and have many children. That is my prayer for you.
Thank you, Mr. Klenkov. That's quite a thought.
Ah, love. That is all that is left in the world, Grandpa.
Yes, but there's plenty of that.
And soon, Stalin will take that away, too.
It seems so nice to read my heart things again. Taste a little more, Grandpa.
Yes, indeed.
You are a breath of tennis, Madam Sycamore.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Klenkov.
I didn't know you was working for the WPA.
Oh, I'm not, Donald. You see, I used to paint all the time. Do you mind, Donald? I need an easel.
It happened again. I was followed everywhere I went.
Nonsense, Ed. It's just your imagination.
No, it's not. It happens every time I go out to deliver candy.
Maybe they're hungry.
It's okay for you to laugh, Grandpa, but it keeps happening to me.
You do not know what following is. In Russia, everybody is followed. I was followed right out of Russia.
Oh, it's just imagination. Here we are. You stand right there.
Is that supposed to be a picture of Mr. DePina?
Of course it is. Who does it look like? Me?
Yes, it does. A little bit.
Nonsense. What would I be doing with the discus?
Hey, for tonight's lesson, use the first movement of Scheherazade.
Okay. I hope I haven't forgotten how to pose. What's he gonna do with that thing? Throw it?
Oh no, he's just posing, Donald. Mr. DePina, has something happened to your figure during these 8 years?
No, I don't think it's any different.
Yes? Oh dear. Sorry, Mr. Klenkov. Couldn't find my fancy silver.
We have a hot night for it, my Pavlov, and art is only achieved through perspiration.
Oh, Mr. Klenkov, that's wonderful. Did you hear that, Grandpa? Art is only achieved through perspiration.
Oh, yes, but it helps to have a little talent to go along with it. Leaving 2 bullseyes last night. Gotta do better than... Say, mind if I use Miss Wellington Penny?
What, Grandpa?
Never mind. Too easy.
Come on, it's been 8 years now. You can do that pirouette. Finally, Andre Jack. Andre Jack. No, Grandpa, you cannot relax the stone in Russia. The Tsar relaxed, and look what happened to him.
He was too late.
If he had not relaxed, the Grand Duchess would not be selling baked beans today. I am sorry. We go to the PK. Come on, a little freer now. A little freer with the hands and head. What are you doing? You must be free.
How do you do? No, it's perfectly all right. We're glad to see you.
Oh, yes, of course. We thought it was to be tomorrow night. Tomorrow night.
What? It's not now. Perfectly all right. Please sit right down and make yourselves at home.
Tony, how could you possibly...
I don't know. I just thought.
Really? Tony, this is most embarrassing.
Not at all. Why, we weren't doing a thing.
Just a quiet evening at home.
That's all. Now, don't let it bother you. This is Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore. Alice's sister, Mrs. Carmichael. Mr. Carmichael, Mr. Kalenkoff, and oh yes, Mr. DePina. Mr. DePina. You tell Mr. Sycamore to come right up and tell him Mr. and Mrs. Kirby are here.
All right. Excuse me.
Tell him to put his pants on.
And won't you sit right down?
I'll tell Alice. Alice! Alice, dear! What is it? Will you come down for a moment? We've got a surprise! Well,
Mrs. Kirby, may I take your wrap?
well, if you're perfectly sure that we're not in...
Don't be alarmed, Mrs. Kirby. They're perfectly harmless. And take it into the kitchen.
Of course, we're just so used to having them around.
Very,
Sorry, Father. I thought it was tonight.
very embarrassing, Tony.
Now, Mr. Kirby, where the light?
No, anyone can. It's not Mr. Kirby.
Penny, how about some dinner for these folks?
Ed, will you tell Donald to run to the inn? We need to get half dozen bottles of beer and canned salmon. Do you like canned salmon, Mr. Kirby?
Don't trouble. I have a between digestion anyway.
Sorry. Oh, what about you, Mrs. Kirby? Do you like canned salmon?
Oh, I'm very fond of it.
Yeah, Frankfurt, if you'd rather.
Sure one will do.
Make it some frankfurters, some canned corn, and some Campbell soup.
Okay.
Tell him, hurry. Game is right around the corner. Frankfurters don't take any time to boil.
And this is Alice's father, Mr. Sycamore. Mr. and Mrs. Kirby.
How do you do?
I hope you'll forgive my appearance.
This is Mr. Sigmore Dizzy's time. Just before the 4th of July.
You're the most elevated person in the world. Will you ever forgive me? I thought it was tonight.
Why, Tony, I thought that you... I am so sorry. I can't imagine why I wasn't... Have you all gotten to know each other?
Yes, indeed. How do you do, Alice?
How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? I'm sorry I'm not very presentable.
But darling, you look lovely.
Mrs. Kirby, my dear. We'll have each other next sooner, that's all.
Of course.
It's just that I was planning such a nice party for tomorrow night.
Well, we'll come again tomorrow night.
There you are, Alice. Now am I forgiven?
I guess so. It's just that... Well, we'd better see about getting you some dinner.
It's all been done, Alice. It's all been attended to.
Well, what did you set out for, Mother? Because Mr. Kirby suffers from indigestion and he can only eat certain things.
I asked him what he wanted, Alice.
Yes, Mother, but you're not...
It's not all that. I just have a bit of indigestion, that's all.
Perhaps, Mr. Kirby, you do not have indigestion at all. Perhaps you have stomach ulcers.
Don't be absurd, Mr. Kalenkoff.
You mustn't mind Mr. Kalenkoff, Mr. Kirby. He's a Russian. And Russians are inclined to look look on the dark side.
All right, but a friend of mine, a Russian, he died from stomach ulcers.
Please, Mr. Kolenkov, Mr. Kirby has indigestion, and that is all.
All right, let him wait.
Mr. Kirby, how are business conditions? Are we pretty well out of the depression?
What the? Yes, broadly speaking.
But you figure things are going to keep on improving?
Well, yes, business is up 65% to full capacity, as opposed to in 1985, where it was up to 85%. But in 1929, a peak year.
Hey there, cutie.
Now that may seem a little strange to you, but she's not quite accountable for her actions. A friend of Mrs. Sycamore's, she came to dinner and was overcome by the heat.
Yes, some people feel it, more than others. It is awfully hot. You usually escape all this hot weather up in Maine, don't you, Mrs. Kirby? As a rule, yes, but I had to come down this week for the flower show.
Oh, Mother wouldn't miss that for the world. That blue ribbon is the highest spot of her year.
I wonder if he wants a flower show for raising onions, remember?
That was a garden show, Essie.
Oh. Yes.
I'll be right back, and then it won't take any time at all. I'm afraid you must be starved.
Oh no, Hello, what's this? I didn't realize there were any little children in the house.
No! That's mine.
Oh, I see.
Perhaps you'd be better off if you had a hobby like that, Father. Instead of raising orchids all the time.
Oh, do tell everyone about your orchids, Mr. Kirby. You know, they take 6 years before they blossom. Imagine that!
I got one I've been waiting 10 years for.
Believe it or not, I was waiting for an orchid.
Ah, yes. But of course, during that time they take the most scrupulous care. I remember a bulb that was
Here we are. Did you get everything on it?
Yes, sir. Only Frankfurt did love to do. Sorry, I pickled pig's feet.
Never mind that, Donald. Everything into the kitchen. Mr. Kirby, please tell everyone about your orchids. I'm sure they would love to hear it. And excuse me.
Yes, I need something to relieve myself of the daily nerve strain. After a week in Wall Street, I've been pretty crazy. And lots of men I know have yachts for that very reason.
Why don't they give up Wall Street?
How's that?
I was just joking.
Well, I think it's necessary for everyone to have a hobby. Of course, it's more to me than just a hobby, but my great solace is spiritualism.
But Mrs. Kirby, don't tell me you felt that, but everybody knows it's a fake.
To me, Mrs. Sycamore, spiritualism is, I would prefer not to talk about it, Mrs. Sycamore.
Well, remember, Candy, you have one or two hobbies of your own.
Yes, but not silly ones.
I don't think it matters what the hobby is. The important thing is to have one.
To be ideal, a hobby should improve the mind as well as the body. Take the Romans, for example. They were a great people. Why? What was their hobby? Wrestling! In wrestling, you must think quick with the mind and move quick with the body.
Yes, but I'm sure wrestling isn't the most practical sport for all of us. I mean, I wouldn't make a very good showing as a wrestler.
You could be a great wrestler. You're built for it. Look!
Father, you're right.
Where are my glasses?
Here they are, Mr. Kirby. Oh, Mr. Kirby, they're broken.
I am sorry, Mr. Kirby, but the next time you wrestle, you will of course not be wearing glasses.
I do not intend to wrestle again, Mr. Kolenkov.
You better sit down, Father.
Mr. Kolenkov, how could you do such a thing? Why didn't somebody stop him? I think, if you don't mind, perhaps we better be going.
Mother!
No, please, please don't go.
I am sorry if I did something wrong, and I apologize.
I am so sorry, Mr. Kirby, if I had been here.
It's quite all right.
Of course it's all right, Alice. We're not going.
Well, that was exciting for a minute, wasn't it?
What did I do that was so terrible? I threw him on the floor. Did it kill him?
Please, Mr. Kalenko. Sure, there won't be any time at all now. Would you like some candy while you're waiting? It's freshly made.
My doctor does not permit me to eat candy, thank you.
Oh, but these aren't happening, Mr. Purdy. Just bun and coconut. Don't, Essie.
Los huevos cayeron por haber. Spell down the sink.
Make some more, quick. Send on the level for some. And tell them to run. I'm sorry, there's been a slight delay, but everything will be ready in just a minute.
I've certainly put you people to a lot of trouble. My stupidity.
Oh, not at all, Tony.
Look, we want to play some sort of game while we're waiting.
You know what? That'd be fine.
Mother, I don't think Mr. and Mrs. Kirby.
I have an idea. I know a great trick with a glass of water.
But I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Kirby would love this game. It's perfectly harmless. Mother, please.
Not a very good game, Mrs. Sycamore.
But any old fool could play this game, Mr. Kirby. But all you do is write your name on a piece of paper. Mother, Mr. Kirby, don't you go, Mr. Kirby. Mr. Kirby, you write your name on this piece of paper. And Mrs. Kirby, you do the same on this one. Mother, what is this game? I used to play it at school. It's called Forget Me Not. Now, I'll call out 5 words, just any old words, and as I say them, you're to put down the first thing that comes to your mind. Is that clear? So, for instance, if I were to call out grass, you might put down. Green! Anything that comes to you. So, if I were to call out chair, you might put down. Table! It shows the reaction people have to different things. Do you see how simple it is, Mr. Kirby?
Oh, come on, Father, be a sport.
Very well, I shall be happy to play.
So you see, Alice, he does want to play. Well, all ready?
Ready?
Now remember, you must be sure to play fair and put down the first thing that comes to your mind.
I understand.
All ready? The first word is potatoes. Potatoes. Got that? Bathroom. Bathroom. Ready for the next one?
Go ahead.
The next word is lust. Mother! That is nice. Nonsense, Alice. That word's all right. Mother, that word is
Oh, I don't know. Lust seems like a perfectly fair word to me.
You see, Alice, then you mustn't interrupt me.
Try that word again, my dear.
Lust, Mr. Kirby.
I've got it.
This is quite a game.
Shh, Grandpa. All ready? The next word is honeymoon. All ready? The last word is sex. Mother! Everyone got sex?
What happens now?
Oh, this is the best part. Now I read your reactions.
I see. Rather interesting game.
Oh, I knew you'd like it, Mr. Kirby. I'll read your card first. Now, everyone, this is Mr. Kirby's card. Mr. Kirby. Potatoes. Steak. Well, that's very good, Mr. Kirby. Do you see how they go together? Steak and potatoes?
I just happened to think of it.
It's very good, Mr. Kirby. Bathroom. Toothpaste. Lust. Unlawful. Nice. Honeymoon. Trip. Yes, of course. And sex. Male. It really is a very wonderful card, isn't it, Mr. Kirby?
Yes, it's a game. It's an experiment in psychology.
Yes, it is. Shows just how your mind works. And now we're going to see how Mrs. Kirby's mind works. This is Mrs. Kirby, everyone. Mrs. Kirby. Potatoes. Starch. Oh, I know just what you mean, Mrs. Kirby. Bathroom. Mr. Kirby. Bathroom.
Easy, bro. I just meant that hot springs is not very gay that time of year, and for all those old people sitting around all afternoon and nothing to do at night. That was not your reaction at the time, I recall.
Father, this is only a game.
And a very illuminating one. Let us go on. This one's all right, Mr. Kirby. Saks, Wall Street. What do you mean by that? I don't know what I mean by that. Nothing. But you must have meant something by it. It's just the first thing that came into my mind. That's all. What does it mean? Sex, Wall Street? I don't know what it means, Anthony. It's just you're always talking about Wall Street, even when we're. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means. Oh, Alice, would you mind terribly if we didn't stay for dinner? This game is giving me a terrible headache.
I understand, Mrs. Kirby.
Yes, maybe it would be very smart if we were to postpone the evening.
Father, I think we're being very abrasive.
I have a terrible headache, Tony.
I think we ought to stay for dinner.
But we were fools, Tony, to ever think that this would work. It won't work.
Are you coming, Anthony?
No, Father, I'm not.
Very well. Good night.
Stay right where you are, everybody. Don't move.
Oh, good heavens! How dare you!
What is all this?
This is an outrage!
Keep your mouth shut, you. Which one is it?
This is his! What? What do you mean?
What is it, Grandpa?
This is an outrage!
Shut up. What's your name?
Edward Carmichael, I haven't done anything.
You haven't, huh?
This seems rather high-handed to me, officer.
Department of Justice. The Chairman.
What's the boy done, officer?
What is it? What's it all? This is our business. Mac,
I haven't done anything.
come here, you. Ever seen these before?
They're my circulars.
Huh? You print this stuff, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
And you put them into boxes of candy, and you get them into people's homes.
But I didn't mean anything by them.
You didn't, huh? Dynamite the Capitol, dynamite the White House, dynamite the Supreme Court. Huh. God is the state is God.
I refuse to.
But I didn't mean anything by them. I just love to print. Don't I, Grandpa? Now, officer, the government's in no danger from Ed. Printing is just his hobby. He prints anything.
He does, eh? I've never heard such nonsense.
Hey! Let me get my pipe, will you? Let me get my pipe!
Shut up, you! You're right, Chief. You're gonna have gunpowder down in the ball.
Everybody in this house is under arrest.
Oh, now look here, officer. This is all nonsense.
Shut up, you.
It seems to me
Shut up.
Oh, there you!
Stop it.
Stop it! That is my mother.
For appearance in the West Side Court this morning. After spending the night in jail, the defendants, 13 in all, were brought before Judge Callahan and given suspended sentences for the manufacturing of firearms without permit.
See, kept me in the same cell with Miss Wellington. She used to be a stripteaser from the burlesque show.
I was in the cell with Mr. Curry, and I was he-mad.
Mrs. Kirby and Miss Wellington were fighting all night.
There's a whole lot about Mr. Kirby here. Anthony W. Kirby, head of Kirby and Company, 62 Wall Street, was among those apprehended, stated he was no way involved with the manufacture of firearms, but refused to state why he was on the premise at the time of the raid. Mr. Kirby's a member of the Union Club, the Racking Club, the Harvard Club, and the National Geographic Society. My, he certainly was a joiner.
Oh, those men like elks or mooses or something.
I suppose after all this, Mr. Tony ain't never been married to Miss Alice, huh?
No, sir. It's too bad, too. Miss Alice sure loved that boy.
Why do you suppose the rich folk always get themselves in trouble?
See, I don't know what they're going to do with all that food left in the kitchen.
I'm hungry.
No, they ain't. Something sellable.
Thanks.
Well, she's going. Nothing anyone said could change her.
My, going to be long to go out here without her.
How you feeling, Mrs. Sycamore?
I'm all right, Donald. Just kind of upset. Perhaps if I do some work, I'll feel better.
Well, I won't bother you then, Mrs. Sycamore.
Now, Penny.
I can't help it, Paul. Somehow I feel it's all our fault.
Well, it's mine more than yours, Penny. All these years I've just been going alone, enjoying myself, when I should have been thinking more of Alice.
Don't say that, Paul. You've been a wonderful father and husband, too.
No, I haven't. Maybe if I'd gone ahead and been an architect, I don't know. Something Alice would have been proud of. Kept thinking that all last night looking at Mr. Kirby.
But we've been so happy, Paul.
No, maybe that's not enough. I used to think so, but I'm all mixed up.
And what time is she going?
Pretty soon. Train leaves at 7:30.
If only she'd talk to Tony. I'm sure he could persuade her.
But she won't, Penny. She's been trying all day.
Well,
Now, Penny,
but Grandpa.
let the girl alone. Now, suppose she goes to the Adirondacks. She'll be back. You can only take so much Adirondacks and then you come home.
So terrible, Grandpa.
In a way. But it has its bright side, too.
How do you mean?
Well, Mr. Kirby getting into the patrol wagon, for one thing. And the expression on his face when he and Donald had to take a bath together. I won't forget that if I live to be 100. And, I warn you, I intend to be. If I can have things like that going on.
It was even worse with Mrs. Kirby. When the matron stripped her, Miss Wellington kept singing a strip song while she undressed.
I'll bet you Bar Harbor is going to seem pretty dull to the Kirbys for the rest of the summer. Need any help, Alice?
Thank you, Grandpa. It's helping me with my bags. Alice, dear.
Now, Penny.
I'll bring down the bags when you're ready, Alice.
Would you like some candy to take along for the train, Alice? No, thanks, Essie. Really, Alice, you could be just as alone here as you are in the mountains. You can stay right up in your room all the time. I love you all, you know that, but I just have to go away for a while. I will be all right. Father, did you phone for a cab?
No, I didn't know you needed one.
Oh, I told Mr. DeVinton to tell you. Did he tell you?
Oh, he told me, but I forgot.
Oh, I wish that I lived in a family that didn't always forget everything. That behaved the way that other people do. I'm sick of cornflakes and Donald and everything. Why can't we be like normal people with roast beef and 2 green vegetables and doilies on the table? A place that you can bring your friends to without... I'll see if I can do anything. Tony, talk to her. She's in the kitchen.
Thanks. Alice, won't you listen to me, please?
Tony, it is no use.
Alice, you're not being fair. At least let me talk to you.
Perhaps if I went upstairs with them.
Now, Penny. Let them alone.
Where'd they go?
Knocked the olive oil grab right out of my hand. Wait to smell kind of fishy.
How are you feeling, Mr. DePina? Hand still hurting you?
No, it's better.
Everything burned up, huh?
Everything. And my Roman costume, too.
I told you there was a bright side to everything. All except my 22 years back income tax. I get another letter every day.
Say, what are you going to do about that, Grandpa?
Well, I had a sort of idea the other day.
Ah, what is that?
Good evening, everybody.
Mr. Kleinbach.
Hello, Kalenpov.
You'll excuse me, but the door was open.
Come on in.
You will forgive my coming this evening. I realize you are upset.
That's all right, Mr. Kleinbach. I don't think I can take a lesson today, Mr. Kleinbach. I just don't feel up to it.
Well,
Please do stay to dinner, Mr. Kleinbach. We've got all that food and someone has to eat it.
I would be happy to, Madam Sycamore.
Fine.
Now, I wonder if I know all of you well enough to ask of a great favor.
Why, of course, Mr. Kleinbach. What is it?
You have heard me talk about my dear friend, the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina.
Yes?
I tell you, the Grand Duchess has not had a decent meal since before the Revolution.
She must be hungry.
Today is not only the Grand Duchess's day off, Thursday, but it is also the anniversary of Peter the Great, a remarkable man.
Mr. Kleinbach, if you didn't mean like the Duchess to come here to dinner, I would be honored. Oh, yes.
You know, if this keeps on, I want to live to be 150.
Essie, straighten your ducks. And fix your collar. How do I look, all right?
Fine.
I present the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina. Your Highness, allow me to present Madam Sycamore, Madam Carmichael, Mr. Sycamore, Mr. Carmichael, and Mr. DePina.
All right now, Mr. DePina.
We're honored to receive you, Your Highness.
I am most happy to be here. What time is dinner?
It'll be quite soon, Your Highness, very soon.
Oh, I don't mean to be rude, but I must be back at the restaurant by 8 o'clock. I am substituting for another waitress.
I will make sure you are on time, Your Highness.
Say, Duchess, I think you waited on me once in Child's restaurant, the 72nd Street place.
No, that was my sister.
The Grand Duchess Natasha.
Quite a lot of your family living over here now, aren't there?
Oh, yes, many. My uncle, the Grand Duke Sergei. He is elevator man at Macy's. Quite a nice man. Then there is my cousin, Prince Alexis. He will not speak to the rest of us because he works at Henry Carnegie's. He has cards printed. Prince Alexis at Henry Carnegie. Oh,
He was willing to talk to you when he was selling Eskimo pies at Coney Island.
Colin, our time is coming. My sister Natasha is studying to be a manicure. Uncle Sergei had promised to make floor walker. And next month, I get transferred to Fifth Avenue Childs. And that is only step to Shreks. And then, we will see what Prince Alexis has to say.
I think you've got him.
You are telling me?
You know the Tsar? Personally, I mean.
Oh, he was my cousin. It was terrible what happened. But perhaps it was for the best. I mean, where could he get a job now?
Yes, of course. Will you excuse me for a moment?
Say, Duchess, is it true what they say about the Rasputin?
Oh, everyone wants to know about Rasputin. Yes, it is true, my dear sir. In space.
Your Highness, we must watch the time.
Oh, I must not be late. The manager does not like me. He's a coming.
Oh, we'll hurry things up. Essie, why don't you go into the kitchen and give Reba a hand?
Oh, I will help too. I am very good cook.
But Your Highness, not on your day off.
But I love to cook. Don't worry, God. If they got sour cream and hot cheese, I will make you some blitzes.
Come on, Pablo, we show you something.
Say, the Duchess is all right, isn't she? Hey, Duchess, can I help?
She really is a very nice woman, considering she's a Grand Duchess and all.
Wonderful what people go through and still keep their spirits up.
And will you go upstairs and bring down my bags, please?
Don't you do it, Ed.
Ed, please.
All right, Ed. Bring it down. You know, you've got the stubbornest daughter in all 48 states.
Must be the cab.
If it is, it's certainly wonderful service.
Tony here.
Yes, he is.
Pardon my intrusion, but, Tony, I want you to come home with me. Me and your mother are very upset.
Very well, Father. Goodbye, Alice.
Goodbye, Tony. Now, I'm sure this is just as painful to me, Mrs. Kirby, as it is to, you people. I'm sure you understand.
Well, yes. But, in a way, no. Now, I'm not the kind of person that tries to run other people's lives, but the fact is, Mr. Kirby, I don't think these two young people have as much sense as you and I have.
Grandpa, will you please not do this?
I'm just talking to Mr. Kirby. A cat can live in a cave, can't he?
Do you want me to do that for you, Alice?
Thank you, Mother. Riverside 5221?
But the train isn't in for a while, Alice.
Yes, can I get a cab to 706 Claremont, please? Yes, that's right. Thank you. Now, you excuse us, Tony.
Mr. Kirby, I suppose after last night you think this family is crazy, don't you?
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, I'm not accustomed to, going out to dinner and, spending the night in jail.
Well, you have to remember that you came on the wrong night. Right? I'll bet you nothing will happen at all. Maybe.
Mr. Vanderhuff, it was not just last night that I convinced me and Mrs. Kirby that this arrangement would be, unwise.
Father, I can handle my own affairs. Alice, for the last time, you married.
Tony, I know exactly what your father means, and he's right.
Alice, he's not.
Alice, you're in love with this boy. And the only reason you're not marrying him is because we're the kind of people we are.
Grandpa!
I know. You don't think the two families would get along. Well, maybe they wouldn't. But who says they're right and we're wrong?
Grandpa, I never said that. I only feel...
Oh, well, I feel that Tony is too nice a boy to wake up 20 years from now with nothing in his life but stocks and bonds.
How's that?
Oh, yes. Mixed up and unhappy, the way you are.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Vanderhoff. I'm a very happy man.
Are you?
I certainly am.
I don't think so. Where do you think you get your indigestion from? Happiness? No, sir. You get it because you spend most of your time doing things you don't want to do.
I don't do anything I don't want to do.
Yes, you do. Last night you said after a week on Wall Street you're pretty near crazy. Why do you keep on doing it?
Why do I keep on? It's my business. What do you suggest I do? Just give it up?
Why not? You've got all the money you need. You can't take it with you.
It's very easy for you to say, Mr. Vanderhoff. But I spent my entire life building up my business.
And what's it got you? Same kind of mail in the morning, same kind of deals, same kind of meetings, same dinners at night, same indigestion. Where does the fun come in? Don't you think there ought to be something more, Mr. Kirby? You must have wanted more than that when you started out. We haven't got much time, you know. Any of us.
What do you suggest I do? Do live like you do? Do nothing?
Well, I have a lot of fun. Time enough for everything. Read, talk, visit the zoo now and then, or practice my darts. Even have time to notice when spring comes around. Don't see anybody I don't want to. Don't have 6 hours of things I have to do every day before I get 1 hour to do what I like in. And I haven't taken bicarbonate of soda in 35 years. What's the matter with that?
The matter with that, it's so American. I mean, just suppose we all did that. Fine world we have, everyone going to zoos. Don't be silly, Mr. Vanderhoff. Who would do the work?
There are always people that like to work. You can't stop them. Inventions, and they fly the ocean. There are even people who go down to Wall Street, too. Because they like it. But from what I've seen, Mr. Kirby, I don't think you're one of them. I think you're missing something.
I'm not aware of missing anything.
I wasn't either. Till I quit. Used to wake up at 9 o'clock and get to that office at 9 o'clock, no matter how I felt. Used to lay awake at nights for fear I wouldn't get that contract, and used to worry about the world too. Got all worked up about whether Cleveland or Blaine was going to be elected president. Seemed awful important at the time, but who cares now? What I'm trying to say, Mr. Kirby, is that I've had 35 years. No one can take away from me, no matter what they do to the world. See?
Yes, I do see. And it's a very dangerous philosophy, Mr. Vanderhoff. It's un-American. This exact reason why I'm opposing this marriage. You don't want Tony to come under this influence.
What's the matter with it, Father?
The matter with it's downright communism.
You didn't always think so. There was a time when you wanted to be a trapeze artist.
Why, Tony, don't be an idiot.
Why, isn't that wonderful? Did you wear tights, Mr. Kirby?
I was 14 years old at the time.
Yes, but at 18, you wanted to be a saxophone player, didn't you?
Tony.
And at 21, you ran away from home because grandfather wanted you to go into the business.
Well.
Yes, I had my silly notions in my youth. But thank God my father knocked them out of me. And I went into the business and forgot all about them.
Not all together. There's still a saxophone in the back of your clothes closet. I've seen it.
There he is.
That's enough, Tony.
You know what? I think Mr. Vanderhoff is right. Dead right. I'm never going back to that office because I've always hated it. And I'm not going on with it. You know something else? I didn't make a mistake last night. I knew it was the wrong night, and I brought you here on purpose.
Tony, heaven's sakes!
Because I wanted you to wake up. I wanted you to see a real family the way they really were. A family that loved and understood each other. You never understood me. You never had the time. Well, I'm not going to make your mistake. I'm getting out when there's still time.
Tony, what do you want to do?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bricklayer. At least I'll be doing something I want to do.
Well, that'll be the cab.
Ed, ask him to wait a minute.
Grandpa.
Oh, Alice, do you mind? Mr. Kirby, Tony is going through just what you and I did when we were his age. I think if you listen hard enough, you can hear yourself saying the same thing to your father 25 years ago. Oh, we all did it. And we were right. How many of us would be willing to settle when we're younger for what we eventually get? All those plans we make, what happens to them? It's only a handful of the lucky ones that can say they even came close. So, before you clean out that closet of yours, Mr. Kirby, I think I'd get in a good few hours on that saxophone.
I beg your pardon. But before I make the blitzes, how many will there be for dinner?
No.
Your Highness, may I introduce Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Kirby Jr., the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina of Russia.
How's that?
How do you do? But before I make the blitzes, how many will there be for dinner?
Oh, I make quite a stack of them, Your Highness. Can't ever tell.
Good Cesar always told me, Olga, do not be stingy with the blitzes.
Pardon me, Mr. Vanderhoff, who did you say that was again?
The Grand Duchess Olga Katrina of Russia. She's cooking the dinner.
Oh.
And speaking of dinner, Mr. Kirby, why don't you and Tony both stay?
Oh, please do. We've got all that food we were supposed to have last night. I mean, tonight.
Looks like a pretty good meal, and it'll kind of give us a chance to get acquainted. Why not stay?
I think I would like that very much. You say, Tony? Shall we stay for dinner?
I think that'd be a fine idea. That is, if Alice will send away that gap.
How about it, Alice? Looks like a pretty good crowd. Don't you think you ought to stay for dinner?
Mr. Kirby. Tony. Grandpa, you're wonderful.
I've been telling you that for years.
I found another letter from you, Grandpa. This one was in the icebox.
The government again.
Why don't you step into my office, Miss Sycamore? I'd like to do a little dictating.
Let's see here. Well, well, well.
What is it?
The United States government apologizes. I don't owe him a nickel. It seems I died 8 years ago.
You did it.
Remember Charlie, the milkman? Buried under my name.
Yes.
Well, I just told them that they made a mistake and I was Martin Vanderhoff Jr. So they're very sorry, and I may even get a refund.
You're an old crow.
Oh, sure.
Mr. Vanderhoff, how did you say you escaped the income tax?
Tonight, my friends, you are going to eat.
Hello there.
How do you do?
I never get there.
What has happened?
He is relaxing. Play something, Ed.
Everything is ready. You can sit down.
Dinner! Come on, Mr. Kirby. Yes, so go ahead. Nancy, stop dancing and come to dinner.
You like Russian food, Mr. Kirby.
But you must be careful of your indigestion.
What indigestion?
Well, Miss Sycamore, how was your trip to the Adirondack?
Shut your face, Mr. Kirby.
In Russia, when we sit down to dinner,
Quiet, everybody quiet. Well, sir, here we are again. We've been getting along pretty good for a while. And things seem to be going pretty well. Alice is going to marry Tony, and it looks as if they're going to be very happy. Of course, the fireworks blew up. But that was Mr. DePin's fault and not yours.